Sunny 95.
Welcome to The Reasons We Smile with Dr. Kvitko, the show that brings you man-on-the-street interviews, celebrity guests, groundbreaking research, and heartwarming stories about the reasons we smile. Our show is also known as everything you've always wanted to know about dentistry, but were too numb to ask. Hello, I'm General Dentist Dr. Kvitko, and thank you for joining me today.
The following views and opinions do not necessarily reflect those of this station, its staff, management, or parent company. To hear a replay of this show or one of the great shows that previously aired, log on to thereasonswesmile.com or iTunes, keyword Dr. Kvitko or The Reasons We Smile. Listeners should not use Dr. Kvitko's comments and advice in place of an actual dental exam.
Brighten your life with a smile that shows the professional touch of Dr. Kvitko.
Time now for The Reasons We Smile with Dr. Kvitko. Call 459-9769 to discuss your dental issues. Now, here's your host, Dr. Kvitko.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to The Reasons We Smile. I'm Dr. Kvitko. This is episode number 533. Today we're going to bring you an eye-opening discussion about the current opioid crisis. And before we get started, let me remind you, if you'd like to follow me on Twitter, it's at Dr. Kvitko. If you would please go to my office Facebook and like us, that would be awesome. It's Dr. Kvitko and Associates. All past episodes, complete with video, are available at thereasonswesmile.com, and we are streaming live on Facebook. I was able to figure it out this week. It's like every other week I figure it out. I need to talk to Mark Zuckerberg and find out why this is so tricky. But hey, yeah, if you're on Facebook, you can see us live. Okay, before we get started, I am looking for an associate. So if you're a dentist with at least 3 years experience, please give me a call, 614-262-9588, or you can send me an email to bkvitko@aol.com. And one last reminder, for those of you just joining us or have never tuned in before, let me just let you know that in about 10 minutes, you're going to have a chance to win free flowers from DeSantis Florist, okay? And we try to make the questions easy. If you've been listening, you'll know the answer. And in some cases, you're just going to know the answer anyway because I make it easy. Okay, so like I said, we're talking about the opioid crisis. And there have been several articles in the Columbus Dispatch lately about that topic. And I have my own take on it. I have my own background information about it. And so it all started for me when they shut down pill mills and I could see some handwriting on the wall. I had Tony Murata, I think his name was, from the FBI on probably 4 years ago. And I said to him, Tony, it feels like there are about to be changes that are probably going to affect my ability to take good care of my patients. And his response was, no, Dr. Kvitko, it's not that at all. It's just about making sure that people are safe and shutting down the pill mills and that sort of thing. And turns out I was right, because we keep getting all of these new guidelines. And one of the things that prompted me to do this show about opioids is an article by the Associated Press, published in the Dispatch, by Lindsay Tanner. And it said the American Dental Association wants dentists to drastically cut back on prescribing opioid painkillers. The association announced a new policy Monday that essentially says eliminate opioids from your arsenal if at all possible, and that's according to Dr. Joseph Crowley, the ADA president. So now the ADA represents about 161,000 dentists. It says that the group is pushing for limiting opioid prescriptions to no more than a week and mandatory education for dentists that encourages dentists to use other painkillers. Now, it went on to write that dentists write fewer than 7% of the U.S. opioid prescriptions, but new research shows that practice has increased in recent years despite evidence that ibuprofen and acetaminophen work just as well for most dental pain and are less risky than opioids, which can be addictive. Okay, I need to stop there because, first of all, I went ahead and I printed off the research that they're talking about. I have them here. Hold it up to the camera. Where's the camera? Right there. And the first thing that was glaring at me was that the study goes through 2015. It's already 3-year-old information. It's not about 2018. It's not recent in my book. And by the way, if I take out 4 wisdom teeth on your daughter, or let's put it even better, one of the legislators' daughters, are they going to let me just give them ibuprofen and acetaminophen? Just take a couple Advil and mix it with the Tylenol. And, who we got to test it on? Because it says works in most cases. Well, if it doesn't work in every case, I'm a little nervous to use it because I want my patients to be comfortable while they're in the chair and once they leave the office. So that's where I kind of, it concerns me. I kind of take exception with that. And I don't know if I'm the only one or not, but I have a feeling that many, many dentists and physicians are kind of in my camp, which is we want people to be comfortable. I mean, you get your wisdom teeth out once, assuming you do all four, and it would be very difficult to become addicted from one round of, say, a bottle that has 12 to 16 tablets in it. It just really, really would be. So, okay, so that's one. Let me see what else. They went on to say that dentists are the leading prescribers of opioids for U.S. teens and the largest increase in dental prescriptions from 2010 to 2015. So they are actually citing the fact that these records end at 2015. A lot has changed in the last 3 years. We don't prescribe as much as we used to because we've been asked not to. And so, okay, so when you read this kind of stuff, you have to kind of look at the background, take a little bit of it with a grain of salt. And I do think it's good that we are trying to cut back. And in fact, it was really tricky before when I had drug seekers, clearly drug seekers who would need a lot of dental work but would have me do just one tooth at a time so they could get pain pills, 14 times instead of one. I would actually decline. And by the way, my method of operation for drugs is, and if you're a dentist or a dental professional listening, you might consider this in your office. If I haven't seen you, if I've never met you, that's an obvious. You will not get pain pills from me. You can't just call in and say I need pain pills, or even come in and say I need pain pills. It doesn't happen. But here's one that people are a little bit, they're surprised by. People think if you make an appointment and you sit in my chair and I take an x-ray and I say, John, you need a root canal, and you say to me, well, I don't have the money, can you just give me pain pills for now? That answer is still no. Why? Because I haven't done anything to cause your pain. So to me, it's very cut and dry. If I've done something to make you hurt, like extract some teeth, do a root canal, place an implant, a gum graft, whatever it is, if I've done it, I want you to be comfortable. And yes, you're going to get pain pills from me, even if I know in advance you're an addict. Because let's face it, addicts still have medical needs. Addicts are still going to need their appendix out, for example, or they're still going to need wisdom teeth out. And you deserve to be comfortable. So that one kind of surprises people because they're like, well, I came and I paid for the exam and the x-rays, I deserve pain pills. It's like, no, you deserve to have your tooth treated. And once you have it treated, I will make sure you're comfortable. So that, and think about that. If you're a dental professional, you might want to adopt that. It's very simple. But that was how I got around the people that were I knew were just trying to push the envelope on how many pain pills they would get from me or other dentists. And by the way, now we have what's called ORS, the Ohio Automatic Prescription Reporting System. And we now are actually obligated to pull a profile on a patient that we are about to prescribe narcotics for. If we don't, we can be in trouble. So we get a report that says John Smith, for example, has been to this pharmacy. He got medicine from this doctor, been to that pharmacy, got medicine from that dentist, and so on and so forth. We see the whole profile. And on it, it gives what they call a narcotic score. It tells us how many milligrams of narcotic painkiller they have already been prescribed. And if they already have some, if you already have some, or let's say you were prescribed a bottle and it had 16 tablets and that was 3 days ago and it's supposed to last you 4 days, I can't prescribe anymore until that extra day goes by. So it's gotten much, much safer. So when you hear this, you want you to realize you're talking about 3-year-old information. It's not like some of these studies are stating anymore. Okay. Now, how did it come about that we decided we needed to control the opioid abuse? And that was this. A light bulb went off in the state legislature's head because the number of accidental deaths from narcotic overdoses surpass the number of people who die in car crashes. That was the aha moment. That's when somebody said, wait a minute, we've got to do something here. Now, I don't know, think about it. Cars are safer. We now have even the little tiny economy cars have side curtain airbags, all those airbag packages that only used to come in the big luxury cars are in every car now. So I think one thing is the number of deaths by people with cars in a car accident automatically went down. And I don't know if it's because they went down, now the narcotic accidental overdoses went up, or they stayed the same, but now all of a sudden they're more than cars. I really don't know that. I would assume there's something about that going on in that picture. But anyway, that's kind of the history. Okay, now we're not going to do Dr. Kvitko's question yet. We are going to do it in a couple minutes. And one of the things I want to make sure that I've covered is the answer. Okay, so I've already talked about two of the answers. Another one is there was another article in the Dispatch. This was March 29th. It was written by Rita Price and Marlon Renault. And the headline was, Opioids Toll 18 Dead in 7 Days. All right. So according to this article, in the third week of March this year, 18 people died from accidental overdoses. And they quote the Franklin County coroner, Dr. Anahi Ortiz, and I've had her on the show before. Thought about inviting her to be on the show to talk about this, but from reading the article, you could tell she's just overwhelmed. I mean, it's just, I don't know that she would have even had the time to come because of all these autopsies they're having to do and all these people. And by the way, I have a personal connection to this. Many of you know I own some rental property, and I had this young man. I got a complaint from a tenant, the commercial tenant that worked below this one-bedroom apartment, that the squad had been called to his address twice in a couple weeks, and he was upset and didn't want that element living up above his business, which I didn't blame him. And so we had a conversation with the tenant, and but what happened was 2 weeks later, not 2 weeks later, more like 3 months later, that tenant died himself of an accidental overdose. So, it's very sad. Wasn't that old. I think he was probably 23. And, but there is fallout from that. His mom is grieving. I don't want to play this up at all, but I mean, there's this ripple effect. I don't have a tenant. I have to deal with, what do I do? How do I get his stuff out of the apartment? I mean, nothing of that is as important as this young man lost his life. But you see what I'm talking about? There's this ripple effect. Wherever he worked no longer has an employee, his friends, all of that. It's very, very sad. And so it is something that we need to work on. So I think with that, and I now know I've covered all of the three comments or the three answers that you're going to be hearing in a second. We are going to take a break. We're going to do Dr. Kvitko's question of the day. You're going to have a chance to win those free flowers from DeSantis Florist. But before we do, we'd like you to listen to this.
This station will not be held liable for any contesting during The Reasons We Smile with Dr. Kvitko. Participation in the contest allows Dr. Kvitko to record and broadcast your name and call. One winner per household. Prizes are non-transferable, cannot be substituted, and are subject to taxes and fees. This station cannot be responsible for the inability to enter the contest, whether due to equipment malfunction or telephone difficulties. All decisions of Dr. Kvitko concerning this contest or eligibility are final.
And now it's time for Dr. Kvitko's question of the day.
All right, let me give you the phone number now so you can start pre-programming it into your phone. It's 614-459-9769, 614-459-9769. And the question of the day is, which of the following describes some facts about the opioid crisis that we've been speaking about this morning? A, in the third week of March in Columbus, 18 people died of a drug overdose. B, the ADA is encouraging its member dentists to avoid prescribing opioids if possible. C, some studies have shown that ibuprofen mixed with acetaminophen can provide better pain relief in some cases. Or D, all of the above. All right, the winner's going to receive those free flowers from DeSantis Florist. They'll be delivered to your place of business this Tuesday afternoon. The number again, 614-459-9769. That's 614-459-9769. So go ahead and call now.
You won't believe it though. I wanna hear your mind, and there's nothing else in the world tonight. She said, people don't take the time. Hey, people don't take the time.
Hi, I'm Keith Carlos, winner of America's Next Top Model and star of Chocolate City 2. Look for my smile on the big screen this summer, courtesy of Dr. Kvitko. Stay tuned to The Reasons We Smile with Dr. Kvitko, the world's most interesting dentist.
Hi, I'm Dr. Kvitko, general dentist and host of the Reasons We Smile radio and roadshow. Did you know that you no longer need to visit several different dental professionals to get more complete dental care? We handle everything from cleanings and orthodontics to restoration, implants, and smile makeovers, all in my office. And now we have 2 locations. Get the most advanced technology and procedures available today. It's more complete dentistry.
Visit worldsmostinterestingdentist.com for more info about Dr. Kvitko.
Dr. Kvitko, let's go!
Hi, this is Richard Simmons. Dr. Kvitko's here, and he's going to help you with all of your problems. Are your teeth yellow? He can fix that. Are you missing a tooth? He can put a new one in. How is that?
That's very good. Thank you, Richard. All right, we're back. We're doing Dr. Kvitko's question of the day. We have some folks on the line, and what I did was I flipped a coin during the break, and it came up line 1, which is Leslie. Hey, Leslie, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Thank you for listening for one and for calling in. Do you have the answer to Dr. Kvitko's question of the day?
Yes, it's all of the above.
It's all of the above. Leslie, did you know that before listening?
I didn't know all of it, but I did know everything but the number of people in Columbus.
Yeah.
And I've had my wisdom teeth out and was prescribed an opioid, but I did not take them.
Oh, cool.
When the doctor told me that I'd have to withdraw from them slowly, not to stop instantly, I wouldn't take them.
Oh, so what'd you take then? Acetaminophen and ibuprofen?
Yes.
And it was cool? It worked?
Yes.
Awesome. That's great to hear. Yeah. So, I mean, that's really good news. I'm just so afraid of the people that it wouldn't work for, but I get it. You know, I get it. What do you do for a living?
I am retired.
As a?
Human Resources Director.
Okay. Human Resources Director. Okay. Well, hey, thank you for listening, and thank you for that insight. That's really good to hear. And listen in next week, too, okay?
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Oh, I got to put you on hold, okay? Don't hang up, because we have to get that information. All right, guys. Thank you so much, Leslie. And Sarah and the others, call back next week, please. Okay, so now let's continue. If you're just joining us, I'm Dr. Kvitko. This is The Reasons We Smile, episode number 533. And we're talking about the opioid crisis. And so, you know, we, like I said, this was brought about by some articles in the Dispatch, so I've talked about a couple of them. There's this other one, and it was the American Medical Association's. She's a psychiatrist. It's Dr. Patrice Harris. She's a psychiatrist who practices in Atlanta, and she is the head of the American Medical Association's opioid task force. And she was in town, and she was interviewed, and an article written by Joanne Viviano. And basically, what they're talking about is, see, the physicians, it falls on the physicians to have to treat people once they're addicted. And the treatment oftentimes was, and maybe still is, in addition to psychological counseling, trying to get to the root of why they became addicts, would be giving them some opioids that would be like a lesser dose, and then slowly tapering them off of it so that their body can adjust comfortably, and then they would no longer be addicted. But the problem is insurance companies have been saying, no, you need to get a pre-approval, or they wouldn't pay for it at all. So she said there's this stigma, this is a quote, there's still a huge stigma that patients who have substance abuse disorder have to overcome, to even seek treatment. And unfortunately, once they seek treatment, it's not available, meaning they can't get it approved by their insurance company. Now, she also went on to mention that insurance companies are starting to step up. But let's think about it. You have somebody in crisis, and they need help, and the insurance company was asking for, and still is in a lot of cases, a predetermination of benefits or a pre-approval, which can take weeks, right? At the very least, days. And so they're working on that. So there's a multi-pronged approach going on, and we're all trying to do the best we can. It would be odd for somebody to become addicted from one bottle of 12 tablets, though. But here's something else. This is this nuance that I don't think people realize. Think about this. There was a time, I'm going to say 5 years ago, when we did not hear about heroin. It was not in the news. And fentanyl, we didn't hear about that at all until maybe a year and a half ago. I knew about the drug, and when they said it, I mean, I'd learned about it in chemistry and pharmacology and dental school and all of that. But you just didn't hear about it. So why is that? When we shut down the, you know what? I think we're going to go to a break, and we're going to talk about that when we come back. What do you think? I think we'll do that. Yeah. So yeah, we're going to talk about the kind of the history of why all of a sudden we're hearing about heroin and hearing about fentanyl when we come back. You're listening to The Reasons We Smile with Dr. Kvitko. Stay with us, and we'll be right back.
You can't take me as I am, not just a little bit. I don't know who to be. I'm a paper cup, baby, on the sea. I know you see it too, 'cause you're too much for me.
This is Clark Kellogg. Stay tuned for more of Dr. Kvitko.
Estás escuchando con Dr. Kvitko aquí en su estación favorita.
Hi, I'm Dominique Reichert. Like what you hear? Why not use the show to promote your product or service by becoming a sponsor? Call 614-262-9588 to learn how. That's 614-262-9588. Call now.
Hi, I'm Dr. Kvitko, general dentist and host of the Reasons We Smile radio and roadshow. I've been honored to help several famous people get a perfect smile, like Keith Carlos and Dominique Reigard from America's Next Top Model, and Ted the Golden Voice Williams from right here in Columbus. Isn't it time you had a celebrity smile? It costs less than you might think, and most of the time, it can be done in one visit. A new smile can make a world of difference.
Visit worldsmostinterestingdentist.com for more info about Dr. Kvitko.
I'm Grandpa, and I go to Dr. Kvitko, and I still have all my teeth. Real ones. Where's my glasses?
All right, we're back. I'm Dr. Kvitko. This is The Reasons We Smile. It's episode number 533. We are talking about the opioid crisis. It's a topic, to be honest, I actually thought there was enough written about and didn't think I should be hammering away at it on this show, but it's just becoming so prevalent and so much more in our day-to-day lives that I feel like we need to talk about it even more than we have, and also to try to bring you insights into some of the history, which I've already done. But this one, okay, so we were talking before the break how we were going to mention why hadn't we heard of heroin until the last few years, and why fentanyl hadn't heard of that until the last year and a half. And here's why. It was something that we did ourselves. When I say we, the powers that be, the authorities who decided we need to cut down on the pill mills and cut down on prescribing. So what was happening before is people were able to access, say, some pain pills that were still in their grandmother's or their mom or dad's medicine cabinet from a previous operation that, she didn't take them all, good for her. But then grandkids, when visiting, would see there might be some OxyContin in the medicine cabinet, so let's just kind of take it. Grandma will never know, right? And so they did, and then they were taking too much, and you were getting these accidental overdoses. So we've decided to cut back, make it harder for people to get. So now it's really hard for people to get. So hard that the people that were addicted have now had to turn to heroin. And then after heroin, they've had to turn, or they didn't mean to, I think this just happened, but fentanyl. So think about it. If you go and you get a bottle of pills, OxyContin, Lortab, Norco, whatever, and it says on the bottle, 15 milligrams, there's 15 milligrams in there because it was made in a sterile environment in a chemistry lab in a pharmaceutical facility. But when you get heroin, who makes that? And what's their chemistry knowledge? Or fentanyl, it's a crook who's mixing something up in their bathtub or their sink. To be honest, I don't even know how you make this stuff. And they don't even know what they're putting in there. They don't know what the dose is. I know my wife and I were talking yesterday. She goes, why is it that these drug pushers, why would they want to kill their clients? Because that's going to cut off their customer base. And I said, they don't do it on purpose. They just don't know how to make the stuff. It's not pharmaceutical grade. There is no control. It's all done illegally. And so they accidentally put too many milligrams in it, and the people die when they take it or touch it even. And so that's a problem, and it's a man-made problem. So I think we need to go back to a way, this is maybe the controversial part, we need to go back to the way where people can get, the people who need it, the people that are addicted, can get at least pharmaceutical grade and it's sterile, that if it says 15 milligrams, it's 15 milligrams, and maybe be in a treatment program like I mentioned a little bit ago where they can slowly be tapered off rather than being forced to buy drugs on the street. It's just we've made it worse, folks. And we have some very smart people in charge. I think they're going to figure this out. They probably already realize that that's what's been happening. And this article in the Dispatch written by Joanne Viviano speaking to Dr. Patrice Harris, that's kind of, to me, the beginning of that because, in some cases, the insurance companies weren't even covering the mental health portion of this. And so they had, either they weren't covered for the mental health or then they had to wait to get treatment for their addiction. And, so what would they do while they're waiting? They'd go and buy heroin or something, right? Maybe be one of the casualties in the meantime. So we have some very smart people who I think are working on it. But we do have a ways to go, a long ways to go, I think. And these kids, these young folks, it used to be we used to have this mental picture in our mind, and we even see it on TV and in the newspaper, of junkies who they didn't look like our kids, did they? They looked like just some derelict or something. But now it's like everywhere, and upstanding citizens, are losing their kids or these kids that had all this promise, smart, headed to college or even in college, and now they're dead. So it's definitely something we have to work on. We want to... Now, here's a kind of a neat story. This was also in the Dispatch. It was written by Alyssa Widman-Neese. Pharmacies offer drug reviews. This is a positive that's coming out of this. To prevent medicine combinations that could lead to side effects like dizziness, drowsiness, and confusion, the state will offer free confidential medicine reviews for older adults next week at more than 400 Ohio pharmacies. The goal is to minimize the risk of dangerous falls, according to a news release from the Ohio Department of Aging. Because let's face it, when an elderly person falls, oftentimes that's their demise. It's the beginning of their demise. So the program is set for April 1st through 7th. Dates and times vary by location. Participating pharmacies include all Walgreens and Kroger pharmacies in Ohio and selected others, including local businesses. So pharmacists are going to review medicine usage and identify combinations that could be potentially problematic. Then they'll provide a list of their findings for their participants to discuss with their healthcare providers to determine their options. So programs like this, and by the way, if you want to learn more about it, go to steadyu.ohio.gov. So the word steady, the letter U, .ohio, spelled out, .gov for a schedule. Okay, if you want to be one of those people that can find out if the list of drugs you take could make you dizzy enough or, tired enough to just fall over and injure yourself. The other thing that is out there that is a good positive is the fact that we now have these drug take-back programs because people do tend to accumulate drugs in their medicine cabinet that they probably don't need. And after a while, it goes by, some time passes, you don't remember why you were taking this. You don't remember what it's used for, which means you're never going to use it again, and yet it's there. Okay? So, and maybe one morning when you are, you're half asleep, you're going to grab the wrong one. So it's really good to get rid of all of these medicines and have it be a case where you're going to be safe. Okay, so it looks like we're out of time. I think we're probably going to have to do a part 2 version of this show. But in the meantime, I am out of time. All right, so again, if you're a dentist, 3 years experience at least, give me a call if you're interested, 614-262-9588. And don't forget to follow me on Twitter. It's at Dr. Kvitko. Visit my office Facebook page and like us. It's Dr. Kvitko and Associates. Remember, all past episodes, complete with video, are available at thereasonswesmile.com. Be sure to tune in next week and every week right here on your favorite station. Goodbye.
This is Carly Red from Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, the hit show on VH1, urging you to tune in next week with my dentist, Dr. Kvitko.
If you're interested in learning more about this and other dental health topics, go to thereasonswesmile.com to access full episodes of Dr. Kvitko's show.
If you'd like Dr. Kvitko, the world's most interesting dentist, to speak at your next event, please call 614-262-9588. That's 614-262-9588, or send an email to speaking@thereasonswesmile.com.